there, everybody. This is Carol Sanick with Carol Sanick Unscripted. Today, on Tuesdays, I like to talk about transformation, so stay with me. Because we're going to talk about the real kind, the kind that doesn't happen all at once, but in the quiet, private moments where you decide you're no longer abandoning yourself. It's the moment you realize you can't go back. There's a moment in every transformation where something inside you shifts. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's not even obvious to anyone else, but you feel it. It's the moment you realize you can't go back to who you were, not because you've outgrown them, but because you finally met the part of you that was waiting. Transformation rarely begins with clarity. It usually shows up with discomfort, with the sense that the old way of being doesn't fit anymore, even if you cannot articulate why. The in-between, that in-between part? Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. This is where most people turn back. The in-between is the hardest part. You're no longer who you were, but not yet who you're becoming. Try and say that 5 times fast. This is where people often feel unsettled, uncertain, tempted to retreat, and afraid they're doing it wrong. But the in-between is not a mistake. It's the birthplace of a new identity. But then we have the grief of shedding an old self. People don't talk about this enough. Transformation includes grief. You grieve the familiar. You grieve the predictable. You grieve the version of you who survived things you no longer want to carry. Letting go is not weakness, it's wisdom. Then you have the fear of stepping into a new one. Becoming someone new requires courage. Not the loud kind, but the steady kind. The courage to stay with yourself, tell the truth about what you want, stop shrinking to fit in old rooms, and trust the version of you that's emerging. This is where transformation becomes real. If this is the season where you're meeting a new version of yourself, my book, Running Shoes, is where we do the deeper identity work, the work of becoming. And Held, which is publishing in about 6 weeks, is where that work becomes a lived, supported experience. So where are we now? Well, we're at the quiet courage of staying with yourself. Transformation isn't a single moment. It's a series of choices. The choice to pause. The choice to listen. The choice to stop abandoning yourself when things get uncomfortable. Every time you choose yourself, you reinforce the new identity that you are building. Think about that. I'm going to repeat it. Every time you choose yourself, you reinforce the new identity you're building. Now, you don't have to rush this. You just have to stay with yourself long enough to meet who you're becoming. You just have to stay with yourself long enough to meet who you're becoming. I love that line. And I want to thank you all so much for being here with me. I'll meet you here next time Go have a great day, and thank you for listening.